in 2022, I was here in St Anton to see how Inghams were doing at the very start of their sustainability journey. I'm back 2 years later to check out how they're getting on. Hi Neil, we are back in St Anton after 2 seasons. How is Inghams' sustainability journey going?
We've definitely seen big progress since 2022. Soon after we last spoke, we released our first ever audit, which became our baseline. We're still committed to halving emissions by 2030 on our Inghams and Santa's Lapland brands. In 2024, we successfully reduced our per person per night carbon intensity footprint by 16% on all our ski holidays compared to 2022.
Now, what were Inghams' goals in 2024 and how are they flowing through to 2025?
So as a company, our biggest shift has been encouraging both guests and our in-resort teams to travel out to resort by train. According to our partners E-Collective, travelling by train produces approximately 3.5 times less carbon than by flying. We have 24 resorts across 4 countries that are accessible by train from the UK, so it's easier than ever. That being said, we do acknowledge that over 80% of our carbon footprint does still come from flying, so there is still more work to do. That's
fantastic that Inghams are supporting both staff and guests to make those lower carbon choices, but that's not all they're doing, is it?
No, it's the partners we choose to work with, whether that's the hotels or the resorts themselves. We want to work with partners who want to protect our futures. Since 2023, we've asked all hotels to complete a accommodation impact assessment because we acknowledge that their impacts also affect our impacts too.
It sounds like Inghams are really taking responsibility on behalf of the guests and looking at those suppliers behind the scenes. Is that a mindset that's embedded in the company?
Absolutely, and at the end of the day, the guests come first. Our aim is to make it simple, clear and easy for our guests to holiday in a more mindful way. It's up to us to do the hard work without impacting our guests' experience.
So Joe, how important is it for you to be part of a team that is conscious about protecting our planet and these mountains that we love?
Oh, it's so important, and in every one of our teams, in each and every resort, we work so hard to ensure that guests not only have the best possible chalet experience, but also can relax, knowing that behind the scenes we're putting in lots of work to make more sustainable choices, whether that be to do with energy usage, chalet upkeep or food wastage.
So what specific behind the scenes things are you doing that maybe the guests aren't even noticing?
So we've implemented a number of small, really positive changes to the way we run our chalets. We've introduced LED lighting, automatic light sensors, and in all of our chalets with saunas, we've set these to a timer so that they only come on at 4 p.m. As to conserve energy. In addition to this, we've introduced a number of eco-friendly cleaning products, and we're trying to totally do away with single-use plastics this winter. So all our miniature toiletries that we used to provide to guests have been replaced with refillable alternative products.
It's amazing that Inghams are looking at like the big picture, big impact items all the way down to the small changes. But what can the guests themselves do?
So the guests can actually be really helpful with this. If they request that we change their bedding and towels less frequent throughout the week and ensure that their lights are all turned off and windows are closed when they leave the chalet, that's a massive help when it comes to energy wastage.
So it really is a collaborative effort. It's the guests, it's the staff, it's everyone.
Exactly.
Amazing. Yeah. So Izzy, how tough is it to create really delicious, hearty meals in the kitchen here in St Anton whilst also being environmentally conscious?
Well, for the 24-25 season, Inghams has committed to half our menu all being vegetarian, and we also have vegan meals upon request. And for our chalet menus, all the starters are now vegetarian.
Now you've got an eclectic, diverse and delicious menu. What are your favourite dishes?
I'd have to say my favourite is probably the red pepper and aubergine stack, which is the layers of veg in between cheese and pesto, and that one's really tasty, but also a little bit lighter with all the veg, which I quite like. I think I would pair it with the Blaufränkoch, which is a lovely Austrian bold red, which is super tasty. And we also have non-alcoholic options available.
And what other local dishes and produce do you pride yourself on?
Well, for breakfast, we have lots of locally sourced pastries and bread. We also have some regional yogurts and milk and some lovely free-range eggs.
Amazing. And the big question, how can we reduce waste in the kitchen? It's so important to Inghams to tick every box sustainably.
Yeah, absolutely. We are moving away from single-use plastics, so trying to use more Tupperware and recycle a lot more. We are asking guests to pre-order meals in the morning in the interest of getting portions very accurate. It's a bit of an ongoing journey, and some resorts are definitely further ahead than others, but we are looking to reduce our impact while still providing the amazing Inghams Chalet experience.
Fantastic to hear all about the positive progression of Inghams' sustainability journey.
Absolutely, we are on a continuous journey. We don't have all the answers, we're nowhere near perfect, but we do see that all of our impacts should be shown with transparency. We do encourage our guests to give us their feedback on their guest feedback forms and also offer their improvements.